Hello everyone, this is Varsha and you are watching the series of success stories brought to you by Indian Achievers Forum. So once again, we are here with you all to discuss the success story of one more achiever of ours, and this time we have with us Mr. Abhi M. Wadhwa. So, Mr. Abhi Wadhwa, founder and design principal of AWA Lighting Designers and the founder of Soul Studios, sees lighting beyond its conventional purpose. He is an internationally acclaimed keynote speaker, educator, and author of numerous advanced light engineering and cultural lighting articles. He has worked with the United Nations Foundations on projects that addresses issues that marginalize many of the world populations. Abhi is inspired by the cultural and emotional effect of lighting and aspires to make a difference in our visual environment with his passion for his craft. Abhi was nominated to the 40 Under 40 Hall of Fame by BD plus C in the United States in 2009. Abhi won the GE Edison Awards of Excellence, the IIDA Awards, the Lumen Awards, and the Paul Waterbury Award of Excellence for lighting the George Washington Bridge Towers in New York and New Jersey. He is the recipient of many prestigious industry awards, including the International Illumination Design Awards for his work at the Museum of Fine Arts, Boston. In continuing to the leading practitioner and thinker for the work on lighting for health and wellness, Abhi is the dedicated member and on the board of directors of International Light Association. But before we actually start the conversation with him, let's quickly have a look at a very small video telling you about what we actually do.
Indian Achievers Forum is driven by a full-fledged advisory board. The board consists of experienced personalities who have excelled in their respective careers. Together, the forum organizes conferences, events, workshops, exhibitions, trade shows, and B2B initiatives in India as well as abroad. Where there is passion, there is achievement. And where there is achievement, there is Indian Achievers Forum.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Very well. Thank you, Varsha, for having me. I'm very happy to be here talking to you.
Pleasure is all ours, sir. So, before we actually start the conversation, I'm very keen to know that how did you actually, land up to the idea of starting up with this company of yours?
Well, see, here's the thing, right? I am trained as an architect. I specialize in using sound, light, color in architectural built environments. Now, about 10 to 12 years ago, before COVID, before it became fashionable to talk about mental wellness, I had already started exploring how I can utilize the modalities of light, color, sound, projection art, digital art, combine them together into a platform that is scientific. It's a scientific ecosystem, which could be utilized in architectural application in spaces, in residences, and so on, in hospitals and hotels. Then when we were working on it before COVID, then when COVID came, we pivoted slightly because you couldn't do public congregation spaces to making apps, and then from that we said, you know what, it's important to have a non-denominational matriarchal community, which is where we have our news, our research, our products, our services all featured. So the idea really originated about 10, 12 years ago, and then it just kept kind of like getting directions and strength to strength, to a point where we have this beautiful ecosystem with a wonderful team, who's working on creating solutions for helping you be a better version of yourself, right? And essentially working on mental wellness in all of its aspects. So that's really where how the journey kind of unfolded for us.
Lovely, sir. So, thinking of an idea and its execution are actually two very different things. So, if
Yeah.
I talk about your
Mm.
journey so far, so what sort of challenges you have to face in it while moving ahead?
Ah, well, the challenges are ongoing, right? I mean, it's a startup. It's a startup in a field which is When I talk to people about it, the first response is, "How what?" And then when you start telling them how people have been helped, how people are absorbing it, using it, etc., then they get slowly more and more excited, right? But the first challenge is that the mental wellness aspect of existence is underplayed, right? In all of India and neighboring countries, and actually all over the world, there is this taboo connected with mental wellness, right? That if you admit that you have depression or you have PTSD or you're sad, you know, they would say, "Arey, just go walk it off. Yeah, what is this, all this?" But sometimes it's way deeper than that, right? So the first challenge was always people's perceptions and is somewhat of a taboo on issues that are connected to mental wellness. Now, see, we don't work on topics like we'll help you relax. You can get 1,000 videos on YouTube to do that. We can help you do this. No, no, no. We're actually working on deeper circuiting in your brain, scientifically, so that you are a better version of yourself, right? And this is non-denominational, this is matriarchal, this is a very affordable system, which is a community of people who are there for each other, right? So the way we are getting over this challenge is by actually saying that, listen, it's all anonymous, right? You don't have to worry about, even if your mother called us and said, "Give us the information," we will not give her the information, right? So you can really open up. You can really talk about things that concern you. We have experts from all over the world. Our board of advisors is actually from 8 different countries. They're all medical doctors, and they are on a board. They're friends of mine for many, many decades, who understand what we are doing. Right. So the point is that we want to take the story and take away the taboo here. So that's a big challenge for us. Then when you know that people don't know enough about it, right? Then how do you find team members who are motivated enough, right, to talk about it? Right? So, I mean, the two aspects of the same coin. No? So, we have been very fortunate that all the people who have come to us, who are working with us, who are part of the team here in India, are just amazing people. They have like, we have doctors, we have psychologists, we have yoga psychologists, we have mindfulness teachers, we have architects, lighting designers, we have coders. All of them just like understand the mission and are creating a scientific system that currently is getting launched, it has been launched in India, but over the coming years, it's for the whole world, taking the ancient wisdoms and helping the whole world through modern technology. Mhm.
Right, sir. So now, if you can please brief us a bit about the services that you're exactly, providing to people out there.
Fantastic, yeah, fantastic. So we have at this point, in 2023, at this point we have two major aspects of Soul Studio. The first aspect is called Soulwala. Soulwala is a vertical which produces apps for mental wellness on all the platforms and in 4 languages. The 4 languages are English, Hindi, Portuguese, and Spanish. Because our expansion plans are to go to North, Central, and South America while we are focusing on South Asia, right? So, so that's Solvala. In that we have a suite of apps. Two of them are live right now, both on for all platforms. You can also get a web platform for it. In the future, we are going to have 3 more apps that have been planned for the next 3 years, right? So that's one part of it. Then there is a community which is called Solsara. Solsara is a community where there is a newspaper on everything that's connected to mental wellness. There is a forum with the themes that we have identified, whether it is PTSD, depression, domestic violence, sexual abuse, general relaxation, productivity, better atmosphere at work. We've identified these themes. So then there is a whole amount of research and a forum for those topics. Then the third part of it is the shop at Solsara, which is the products and services. So products is basically anything that is connected to mental wellness, but it has to be women owned. The businesses have to be owned by women, right? At least 51%. And it's got to be connected to environmentally friendly products, right? So that's the products and services side. So two strong verticals, Solwala and Solsara, and Solsara has 3 parts to it.
Lovely, sir. So now moving ahead and talking about the future, everyone do have certain plans for their future. So if I talk about yours, so what further plans are you having for Soul Studio in the upcoming years? If you can, share a bit of those plans with us as well.
Absolutely, yeah. So for us, the plans for Soul Studio have from the beginning been very, very clear. We want to help everybody who has concerns about the mental wellness. Doesn't matter where they are. Doesn't matter which country, which religion, which race, which language. So we're coming up with this platform, which is made here, which will be useful around the world. So the goal is that we are going to offer our apps, our products and services and our news and everything in multiple languages so that people can connect, to have a forum of advisors, you know, uh, that will help you navigate your way through it, keep it affordable, keep it women owned in terms of, products and services, right? And 5 apps and an expansive system around the world where you could get any product that you wanted or any service that you wanted for your mental wellness needs through our platform, right? So that it becomes kind of a credible place to come to where you can get all your answers anonymously, right? We don't care to know, what your name is, what your this is, what your that is, nothing. All we want to do is what is your problem and how can we help you? And it stays anonymous, and then you can track it because we've built up algorithms within our platform, strong algorithms within our platform where we are, the word in India, in Hindi, we call it that we are your humsuffers. See, in this world that we live in, everybody's getting busier and busier. Nobody has time for anybody, right? I mean, you're busy at work, you don't really get to, enough time to spend with people you care about. And we want to give you a platform where the platform remembers everything about you. So anytime you wish to have some kind of a feedback moment, it's there because the AI algorithm that we're using, the artificial intelligence algorithm that we're using, and the machine learning that we're incorporating will make this platform your best friend, especially for mental wellness issues, right? I mean, this doesn't mean you don't have to give up on your other best friends, but for mental wellness issues, they remember everything. How many times have you had this, Varsha, when you met a friend of yours, and you told them all these things that what you were grappling with, right? Struggling with, and 6 months later, you didn't see them for 6 months, then you see them, and then, hey, you remember I told you about that? And they're like, what? You told me about this? I don't remember, right? So in this case, the machine remembers everything and it can help you be a mirror to your journey, you know. And the algorithms, which are proprietary and patented, are very strong, you know. So that's the plan for the future, is that keep getting it better, keep helping people to be the best versions of themselves. That's a plan, plain and simple.
Wonderful, sir, and I wish you all the success for all the upcoming plans of yours.
Thank you, Varsha. Thanks so much.
Right, so now talking about this pandemic situation, a lot has happened in the last 2, 3, or 4 years approximately. And,
Yeah.
since you are into the mental wellness field, so I personally also wanted to know that do you think that the mental, illness cases have rise because of this pandemic situation? And also what you would like to say on this Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign, an initiative by an honorable Prime Minister, and how is Soul Studio working towards this campaign?
See, I can't give you statistics because I don't have them, right? I'm going empirical and just by talking to people. See, the whole construct has changed. Yeah. Many of us are working from home. You know, our team currently is in 8 different cities in India, right? 8 different cities in India. We are all working mostly from home. So that interaction of going to work, going down and having a chai, or if you, want to go have a smoke or something, that interaction with your colleagues is gone, right? So the social structure is changing. Is it ever going to change back to, the 6 days a week, getting onto the bus or getting onto the train or driving? I don't think so, right? The world has changed. Happened because of the pandemic, but it has changed. the interactions are going to be less. People are going to get busier. That is already happening. People are going to have less time for their own family and friends, right? So, how do you help them navigate this new landscape of of a social structure? This is a new landscape, right? It's a completely new landscape. So, what we are saying is that we understand that there's a new landscape, right? What we're also saying is that if you have a chemical imbalance, we can't we are not the people, we can't help you because I can't make any claims to it. I don't have anything that will say I can help you with chemical imbalances or congenital disorders, right? That's not something that we have the wherewithal for. Our doctors work with how your brain is circuited, how your hormones work, how stress works. Most of it is connected to stress, right? Chronic acute stress leads to situations of lifestyle diseases. We are here to help on that, right? We are here to help people who are figuring out this new social structure, right? This new social structure that's coming about. How do we help you navigate it so you can be the best version of yourself? No judgments, no dogma, no denomination. We just want you to be the best version of yourself, right? So that's what this is all about. Now, as far as the the Atmanirbhar aspect of it, we are doing this in India, right? Our international board of advisors is international, but all of the platform, the coding, and the knowledge base is evolving from here. The algorithms are being written here, right? What you also have to remember is that there is a great tradition of thousands of years of us having a lot of this information within our culture, of how do you help somebody with this, how do you help somebody with that, right? And what we're saying is that why don't we also tap into that? Not only, also tap into that because this is an international approach, Vasudhaya Kutumbam, right? The whole world is our family. That's part of our culture too, right? So, how do we take this message in a very scientific manner, evidence based, right? Developed by coders and really smart people here and help India and then also the rest of the world, right? So, on one side, the COVID aspect has given us a new platform, a new social structure that we are embracing. On the other side, there is this awareness of Vasudhai Kutumbam, which is the world is our family, and how do we help the rest of the world. So there is that, two steps that we are taking connected to this.
Right, sir. So now comes the question which I, personally love to ask our awardees, and that is, what are your feelings on winning this Indian Achievers Award for promising startup for the company?
Listen, I'll tell you this, that we are in a very rarefied place when the Indian Achievers Forum recognizes us, right? It was such a boost for us. It was so well received. We were thrilled, you know, because see, when you understand our context of mental wellness and being people who are on the cutting edge of innovation and technology, right? That we sometimes feel that that are people really getting us, right? And of course, we have a lot of subscribers who love us and etc. But to get this kind of a recognition was fantastic for us, really was. So we are very thankful to all of you, right? The whole team, 22 of us who are working on this, I was just thrilled. Was like wow, thank you, because we feel that your award has so much prestige. You have done this for over 20 years, right? You have been at the forefront of finding some really amazing talent, right? So when we make it to your roster of awardees, then it kind of adds validation to all the hard work that we've been up to. That listen, whatever we are doing is adding up to being, to receiving this kind of award. So, I mean, in a nutshell, we were ecstatic. We were just, everybody was just super, super pumped when we got this. So thank you all there at India Achievers Forum there.
Lovely, sir. And I once again congratulate the entire team of yours on this achievement.
Thank you so much, Varsha, and thank you again to India Achievers Forum. Wonderful to chat with you.
Right, sir. So now, since we have discussed a lot about your professional role and also the upcoming plans that you are having, tell us
Uh-huh.
a bit about the CSR activities too that you're involved in.
Yeah, the CSR activities. See, the thing is that we work with. It's in our DNA. It's not like, I mean, some people tell me, "Oh, my CSR responsibility is 2% of my blah blah blah. I give to." I say, that's not with us. Yeah, with us, it's in our DNA. You know, CSR is in our DNA. This is CSR. The whole project is CSR. I'll tell you how. Right? We are working with NGOs, right? And we say to them that, listen, you come, we are giving you a hugely marketable platform. You come and talk about your causes here, right? And when you get people's attention, we're not asking you for, profit sharing and this and that. We're saying that, listen, we need to get the word out on what you're doing, right? We need to write articles about you so people know what you're doing. Okay? When you get funding or somebody gives you a grant, good for you, you know, because that's the whole essence of it. The obvious question for a venture capital or investment banker who's hearing this would be like, wait, so how do you make your money? No, that's not the business model that we use. See, our business model is not, uh, you know, promoting people and getting revenue from them. Our business model is subscriber based to the apps and products and services through the shop at Solvala, right? And of course, all the ads that we run on our platforms. When we work at the Solsara Times, or when we work on the Solsara themes, right? We are working with, I mean, I don't have the exact count of the number of NGOs, but the last count was about 22 of them, where we are taking what they're doing, we're talking about it, we are writing articles on it, you know, and we are making it aware that people, this is a really incredible thing to do, right? We're also giving them deep discounts on the apps and on the products and services that they can use for their work, right? So the long and short of it is that, Varsha, I don't have like, that 2% of our blah, blah, blah is going to go to for corporate for our CSR. It's all of it that is connected to Solsara is our CSR, right? When it comes to the apps, our CSR is again defined differently. We call it CPI, right? We say it's a community propelled initiative, okay, which is CPI, not CSR. We say CPI that everybody who gets involved in this is part of the revenue streams, not a pyramid scheme. Huh? That's not that's something else altogether. This is very simple. That we are creating it. That if you are able to help somebody, right, you get a percentage out of what they are buying or they are consuming, right? And you are responsible for helping them. So not only are we doing what's conventionally defined CSR, but we're saying all of our subscribers in turn, also have to do CSR. And we are doing it because it's part of the system and we call it soul points. That's a currency that you get soul points, right? Anytime you help somebody, you'll get a soul point. I mean, not a soul point, you'll get like a certain number of soul points, right? And then you keep accumulating it, you become an ambassador, etc., etc. Then you become part of a core team, right? So it's CSR on its head. We're saying the whole community is doing it, not just us. Everybody who's part of us is already in it. You know, that's how we're doing it. So the whole idea of Soul Studio, which byline of Soul Studio is service to humanity, right? So we are structured as social entrepreneurs, and when we have social entrepreneurs, it's not a not for profit. Please don't get me wrong, right? And I tell my team that also is that, listen, all of you must be prosperous, but do so while making others prosperous and helping others. You know, so that's our interpretation of CSR.
Right, sir. So now, before concluding our lovely session, what message or mantra you would like to give to our younger generation who wish to become a successful entrepreneur someday?
Okay, that's a heavy one, huh? Because I have lots of people in the team that are inspired by different things that we talk about, right? But I just say that whatever you do, right? Money is only one currency. That's not the only currency, right? To your efforts. At the end of it, at the end of it, there have to be other metrics, right? For us, it is helping people be the best version of themselves. Right? If we can help one person, 10 people, 100 people, who say that, listen, you saved our life, or you made us a better person, or you helped me get over my emotional distress that happened after a divorce or after this or after that. That's a life well lived. We don't do, let's do 100 million people, because Facebook did that. No, those are for them. For us, as social entrepreneurs, the message that I would give to the generations that are going to keep doing great work, I'm sure, even more than us, is think about how you can help people be the best version of themselves. It's not Money is not the only currency to measure success by. Right? It's very important, but it's not the only thing. Right? At the end of it, what's going to count is, did you make a difference? Did you leave the world a better place? Were the people who remembered you for how you helped them at that moment when they had lost all hope, right? That's that's what one should be aiming for, you know, because the logic is how much, I mean, okay, you become a unicorn, which we will, we are going to be a unicorn, but I'm still going to be eating the same thing. Yeah. I'm not going to be eating millions of dollars of food per meal, right? So what's this all about? That's what you got to ask. And it really stops at how can you help people and how can you serve people with your skill sets, with your technology, with your intelligence, with your education, with your son's cars, which is, what your parents have taught you, and so on. That's my rather long message, but yeah, that's what I have.
Very, very rightly said, sir. And I'm pretty sure that these words of yours will surely be helping out the youngsters out there. So thank you so very much for joining with us today, sir. It was pleasure talking to you, and I wish you all the success for all your future endeavors as well. And may you continue to inspire us the way you are doing. Thank you so very much for your time.
Thank you for your kindness, Varsha, and thank you to the Indian Achievers Forum. You guys are fabulous. Please keep doing this kind of work, because I'm sure there are many others out there who will be greatly benefiting from your sense of diligence and your sense of vision and your sense of screening. And I'm really, again, on behalf of the Soul Studio team everywhere, I'm very thankful to you and your group for this award.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.